Hey comedians, today I'm going to give you 5 bizarre, lesser known tips to get more out of your stand-up comedy career. This is a very fun video. Grab a paper and pen, take some notes, and let's get crazy. Enjoy the video. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Comedy. My name is Gary Michaels and this channel is dedicated to new comedians. If you are starting out in your comedy and performance career, I urge you to hit that subscribe button, never miss a future episode, and get the best out of your performing career. On today's video, I'm going to give you 5 bizarre rules for better stand-up comedy writing and performance. Each of these tips are lesser known tips that will benefit you if you implement them into your career as soon as you possibly can. Here's tip number 1. Rewriting your jokes in third person and realizing how much harsher you can be on the character. Sometimes we want to write a really hard-hitting line in a story or a punchline about ourselves. And now and then it's uncomfortable for ourselves to put ourselves in the position to be made such fun at. So rewriting a joke based on a fictional person you might have seen at the bus stop or you might work with, all of a sudden being harsh comes a lot easier. And you can even have this joke written about you from the perspective of somebody else, meaning how could they have thought this about me? And make sure that the person is slightly fictional depending on how hard-hitting the joke is. If you have a really offensive line about a person, you might want the description of the person to be slightly humorous and a little obviously fictional. The more fictional they are, the easier it is to get away with saying offensive material about them. Tip number 2 is to make yourself the fool before you start poking fun at other people. If you are the kind of act that pokes fun at other people, which is the majority of comedians one way or another, well then you absolutely need to make yourself the fool before you do so. Poke fun at yourself. What are the immediate perceptions people are going to have about your appearance and about your style on stage? The quicker you can address this and make fun of it, the more they will be open to hearing what you have to say about other people. Certainly, if you intend on opening up dialogue with the audience and poking fun at them through what they say, they are only going to open up to you if you've already made a fool of yourself. Tip number 3 is all about heightening the tension in the room when you're delivering your material, and it's done with body language. Simply move closer to the audience and realize that energy and the tension grows. If you step away from them, you will lower that tension. Try it next time before you deliver a punchline. Get them with the hook, get them with the story. And just before you deliver a punchline, take a step towards them, bend over slightly, and then deliver the punchline. There is so much weight in that body language that even if the punchline isn't as funny as it can be, they will put so much faith on the words that you will nearly get a laugh just to break the energy. And of course, if the punchline is well constructed and it fits and serves a purpose well and it's funny, you will get an explosion of laughter from the audience. Play with body language on the stage as often as you can. That's why we rehearse and learn off the words at home, so when we're on stage we can play with the space and move around little bit with the microphone. I'm not saying do laps of the room, I'm saying move around a little bit. And notice it only takes a few shifts with the feet to heighten that tension, and if you think you should lay off on the tension, you move a little bit back. Side to side does very little, but forward and backwards, notice that tension rise, and after a while you'll be able to play with it and add it to the tense moments in your set before you deliver those fantastic punchlines. if you are enjoying this video, please do give it a like, just so I know you're out there. It really helps this YouTube algorithm thing, gets more eyes on these videos. Go ahead and hit that like button and I'll be eternally grateful. Tip number 4 is to think about the microphone as adding 10% to your overall performance on stage. Sure, it's great to have that 10%, but it's not going to make the entire show for you. Therefore, it should only be a small crutch to use. You shouldn't be talking directly into the microphone. Now, at rare gigs, there might be chatter in the background, and that's not the best gigs to be getting, but sometimes at open mic level and other types of gigs, it's what we unfortunately have to contend with. So sometimes you have to talk directly into the microphone to be heard, but at the vast majority of gigs, you do not. And actually, at a lot of gigs, you don't even need the microphone at all. Now, I would still advise to use the microphone even if you don't need it, because the person holding a microphone is going to gain a lot more focus from an audience than someone who chooses not to use it. So even if you only have it down by your side, very far away from your face, you are going to get more focus as a default from your audience than someone who chooses not to use that. But it shouldn't be the only way in which you can be heard. You should be talking to the audience as natural as possible. And somewhere around chest height is absolutely perfect for where the microphone should be. Most microphones these days are really good quality, and that will absolutely pick up everything you have to say. But a person who gets up on stage and hides from the audience using the microphone, this is a really bad habit. You don't want this. If I had a microphone in my hand now and did all the footage like this, it would get annoying very, very quickly. You cannot see the expressions on my face, and in stand-up comedy, you need to be able to express what it is you're saying. And the best way to do that is only have the microphone on your side. And if you only have it down here, every now and then you might want to move the microphone away as you're talking. And because you've conditioned them to listen to your voice rather than just what they hear coming through the speaker, they will still be able to hear what you're saying. Even if they can't technically hear it from the very back, they will be listening so intently that they'll know your body language is still saying the same relative thing. So it's a very unique, interesting way to go about performing, but certainly think about the microphone as 10% of what you're putting out there, and you can't really go wrong. Tip number 5 is about your audience following you on social media after they see you perform. I've seen this time and time again. A comic is on stage delivering a strong set, and at the end they ask the audience to follow them on Instagram or Facebook, and they give out their handle name, and that's that. Simply, I don't think anyone in the audience is going to immediately get their phone out and follow that person, unless the set has been absolutely phenomenal. And even at that, I think it's a tall order. It's a very optimistic thing to think that people are going to actually follow you. Instead, have a joke or a story about your social media page. Something obviously can be fictitious, something that happened around your social media thing. Did a celebrity tweet you or share your posts, or some hilarious story that you made up that you say at the end of your set? Use it in your material. That way, it's way more likely that someone looks you up on social media because of an entertaining story, some quality time you spend talking about on stage, rather than squeezing in a mention of your social media pages in the last few seconds of a performance. So make it be a bit in your show, and your audience are way more likely to check out if it's real or if it's fake. And perhaps there's no way of even knowing, but at least they are more likely to search that name into the social media platform. And if they get to your page, they are a lot more likely to just hit that follow button. So those are my top 5 lesser spoken about, quite bizarre tips in order to get better performance and a better following on your stand-up comedy career. This has been a fun video to make. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about each of the tips in the comment section. I will dive in there and discuss it further. Of course, the comment section is the place you let me know if you want me to make a video on any question you have, comedy or performance related. Let me know what it is in the comment section and I will do my best to make that video for you. Thanks for watching. If you want to support the channel, the best way you can is become a member. Information in how to do so is in the description box. As always, click any of the links on the screen and get more tutorial videos, get performing your career in the correct way. And I will see you on the next video. Right on.